everyone. My name is Fred Chapman. I am president and CEO of True Abundant Life Community Outreach. We are a nonprofit social service public charity organization located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. And with me today, we have our expert, Mr. Steve Johnson. We also have with us our guest today is Devin. And we have on the end, it's Mr. Jeff Mitchell. And we are glad to be here. Jeff is an educator. Devin is a young student, former student, most recent student. And here we have Steve as our expert. And I myself, retired. All right, brothers, we're going to get right into it. We're just chopping it up. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. All right, we're talking about, last series we talked about mental wellness and overcoming anxiety and depression when it comes to children and youth. And with us last time we had Raquel was with us. She's an educator. And today we have all of us men together, just by coincidence, chopping it up. We have Jeff down there who is also an educator. And we spoke a lot about children and the anxiety and the areas of depression and how do we deal with that even as parents, and also how educators are able to deal with that. Today we're talking about general life, how we all deal with life happenings, because we know life be lifing. And we have Devin is one of our younger individuals here with us, one of the younger men with us, and I wanted him to join us today, and hopefully he'll join us on some of our future podcasts, because we want to hear something about a little bit about Devin was sharing with me about when he was in college. He's probably been in college. The most recent individual here at the table out of the brothers here that has been in college or been in high school. Yeah, and I'm probably one of the ones that been out of high school the longest between myself and Jeff over here. We're tied for that. So Devin, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
And welcome to Let's Talk About It. And we're just going to dive right in and chopping it up. Many a times when it comes to work, when it comes to a lot of other things that we deal with, or shall I say activities that are duties, our responsibilities throughout our day, we have these areas where we're just feeling sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes anxiety settle in. And that's what we want to talk about a little bit. And tell us something about some of the things that you find that is sometimes an issue for you.
So a lot of the times it's not necessarily what triggers my anxiety, because a lot of the times that has gotten better. So I'm more aware about what may trigger my anxiety. It's more so dealing with the after effects, because some people get really tired after they go through like an anxiety spurt is what I call it. Other people like me get very defensive, so I'm not necessarily scared of what I may be anxious of. I'm more preparing myself to defend from what may come about it. And a lot of times that's tiring, especially as a young black man. You have to defend yourself usually, and I don't mean to bring race into this, but usually you just have to defend yourself 24/7. So now on top of that, adding the anxiety, it's just a lot of mental tiring that isn't needed a lot of times. And so that comes out defensive, that may mess up your sleep schedule. So there's a lot of difficulties that can come with it. And
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes, as you said, as a young person, sometimes you walk in a room and as a young person, somebody look at you and say, okay, well, he's young or she's young, and they kind of play down even your knowledge in a certain area. You find exactly that. And also, as you said, race is a part of it. Sometimes that happens. These are things that is just a part of life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I know my daughter, she speaks about sometimes about her being a young therapist. Many times, a person may look at her and they'll say, oh, well, she's so young. You know what I mean? Oh, she does look a lot younger than where she is, But right then, sometimes they play down and sometimes I think they play on you when you know that you are just as educated as the next person or something. So
no, exactly. Especially because I work in financial services and I'm 24. So a lot of the times I'm talking to people who are retiring, who are buying houses. and they look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're 20. Like, what do you know about a mortgage and
absolutely.
about a HELOC?" And
Absolutely.
then, okay,
Absolutely.
what do I know about it? Well, let me show you. And then I'll have conversations and I'll
Right.
bring up to them.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, if you're not using all this money, you're opening it up to fraud. Let's move it somewhere else so where you can gain interest.
There you go.
And then, then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Oh,
okay,
this guy
wait
knows
a
a
minute.
lot.
And it's not like a cockiness thing. It's
Yeah.
more so like I've worked hard to be here.
Right.
Like I've had months of training. I've had months of schooling. Like I'll graduate with my bachelor's next semester. So it's a blessing what I've
Nice.
learned in these past
Nice.
4 and 5 years,
That's really
and
good.
to be able to use the knowledge now is the
Absolutely.
greatest blessing.
Devin, that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it's a level of confidence, I think. Like you said, it's not cockiness, it's somewhat of being confident about what you know and you know what you know, your area of expertise, and I'm sure Jeff probably feels the same way when it comes to the classroom. I mean, I'm sure he finds even some younger teachers or educators are coming in and they're like, okay, well, Jeff, your style is this way, but this is the way this is the way now we're moving forward. How does that make you kind of feel?
Well, I was relating. I could relate to that a little bit to what you were talking with Devin about, and a lot of people may think, well, you're so young. Why are you so anxious? But starting a career, because you're kind of at the beginning of your career and you're still educating yourself as well, that's very stressful to be doing both those things at once.
Yeah.
And a lot of teachers that start out are the same way. They're trying to get further their education, because most teachers go into the profession not having their master's degree, and they're trying to teach the first year, which is like the hardest year of teaching, your first year teaching, and earn credits for their master's degree at the same time. So doing those things on top of each other are very stressful, I think, and
Yeah.
anxiety filled.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure. And I think everybody when it comes to the job and just daily lives, we deal with things that are just, and so again, it's nice to have, the brothers here just chopping it up, talking about those sorts of things. And even Steve here as a licensed therapist here, but one time somebody said, I heard someone says, a therapist, how do they, don't treat yourself or don't don't diagnose yourself, but how do you deal with that anxiety and things? Do you use some of your own techniques or some of the things that you've learned on yourself? Most times therapists don't.
No, I would tell you this. Here we go. So I live by 2 rules, right?
Mhm.
1, you don't sweat the small stuff. 2, everything's the small stuff. So really, I don't get a lot of anxious. 2 times I really get anxious in my life if I get lost and if my credit card don't work.
Oh, yeah.
Right? so those are the times that really bring
Right.
anxiousness to me.
Right.
Right? Other than that, I'm kind of just okay with whatever happens. Right? I think over the years, like I used to get, now one of the things I did when I was listening to y'all is like, I used to get frustrated because I thought I was good, but I wasn't good as I thought I was. Right? And so like, it was like a learning curve was really there.
Yeah.
And so I was raw, but I was like eager.
Yeah.
And so I would have a mentor and I would go to her. And I don't know if you guys ever been punched in the face with words before,
Oh, yeah.
but I think that she used to just hit me in the face with words like,
Yeah.
I
right.
don't know.
And that's what we need. We need that every now and
Right.
then.
And so like for me, it was like, okay, that's not good. Okay, this is not good. Okay, let me go back. Okay, let me restudy. Let me relearn. Okay, what about this, this, and this? And like now I'm okay. Right. And I look at it as, for me, she used to always say this, kid you not, Steve, when you walk into a room, I need them not to say like, oh, there's a male. I need them to say like, because what men do, we get extra credit, right? We get like extra credit that we don't deserve. We walk in a room and you have a little bit of nod, so people like, oh, there you go, brother, go ahead, you do you.
Right.
And she was like, I don't want that to be you.
Yeah.
I want you when you walk in a room to know you earned everything in here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. And so even when you like an expert, I'm like, man, I'm just trying.
Right,
That ain't-
right.
I'm just trying
Right.
to get it, man.
So you don't get no points just for being a male coming in. Right.
Like
Absolutely.
that every time.
Absolutely.
You think you just show up and do it like every time. And it was like browbeating. right? And I'm like, but I am him.
Yeah.
And she be like, you ain't nothing, like,
Right.
in like sophisticated educational ways.
Right.
But because you can understand what's going on, like, you know, like you just got some insult thrown your way, right? And so like, I used to go to my mom like, mom, like, yo, she like attacking me. Like I feel like I'm getting slaughtered during this hour. We used to meet every other week, and it was a massacre. Every time you walk in that joint, I'm walking out beaten up. But what it really did was it made me strong. It
Yeah.
really put me on
Absolutely.
at a mindset of like, I'm okay
Yeah.
even when I fall.
Yeah.
Right? I'm okay even if I have to look up something to learn something. I'm okay. I think that as you get into your careers and your foundations and all that start to be there, you got to make sure that you're okay with not having it,
Absolutely.
right? I think so many times people may get entitled or may think it's supposed to come,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and it don't come, or there's a challenge, or there's a roadblock into whatever you try to get to and whatever you try to be. And then like now, what do you do with that obstacle? And because things might have been easy or things might have been given, a combination of both,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how to get over that hurdle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so for me, that hurdle was steep,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was a climb. And even now, I don't feel like I'm over it.
Yeah.
But it came from always understanding that,
Mm-hmm.
yo, you better work. Yo,
Oh, yeah.
you better work.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you better work.
Oh yeah.
You better learn some new this. You better learn that. You better pick up here. You better pick up there. You better be a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
You better be this sponge,
Yeah.
right? You better. Oh, they said that. Oh, you can use that. Oh, you said that. Oh, that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't so much of I got this. I'm
Oh, yeah.
good. It's so
Yeah.
much of like
Like you have arrived.
what you got going
Yeah,
on. Like,
yeah.
up right now.
That's
what
right.
you got over
That's
here?
right. Constantly learning.
Yeah. And so like they be like, Steve, what about you? No, I'm picking. I'm trying to absorb. I'm acting like I'm 5 years old and like
Oh yeah.
I'm following mommy and daddy, just picking up. Why? Because I want to take what you guys. I another mentor is something. His line was always iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Right. So when you in these type of platforms, when you in this type of thing, we just sharpen each other.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Iron sharpens iron. So shall one
Yeah.
brother or sister sharpen another. That's the way we should do. We should always learn from each other, and we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't admit it, but we always should learn from
Yeah.
from each other.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And the thing is, another thing, Steve, is that the level of, you said about growing, constantly growing. Many a times, I think sometimes we feel like we have arrived. We feel like, okay, I have made it. I have arrived. All of my knowledge is right here, and I don't need to learn anymore. And sometimes you come across as a Mr. Know-it-all or a Miss Know-it-all, and that's not good because I think you're fooling nobody but yourself. You know what I mean? You kind of, and so I always do think it's a good thing to sometimes to sit back and learn from someone else. I know I learned a lot, and I continue to learn a lot from older individuals. And you guys learn a lot from,
Absolutely.
yeah, people are not necessarily even in age, but people that have been somewhere and they have maybe been in the area of a field, longer than I, or just their expertise, like Devin with the financial expertise.
For sure.
That kind of, somebody that, deals with a situation like Jeff here deals with, students and young people a lot. I don't deal with them like, a lot. I don't deal with young kids and stuff a whole lot. But you can learn a lot.
Them young kids, they're gonna it's a new perspective.
It is. It really is.
It is a whole new
It
perspective.
is. Yeah.
Right. And I ain't here to say right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just more food for thought. Like, I ain't thinking about that.
We even talked about
I
that
ain't
some on
thinking
the
about
last
that.
time.
Yeah,
last
it's
podcast.
all good.
Well, we talked about something even with the discipline.
Yeah, but this one is great. This one is great.
No, that has changed.
Right. And this one definitely has changed. But like, I don't know. I guess like I'm a combination of like, y'all both said it earlier, right? It's like, and then Jadakiss said it in the rap, and that's how I remember a lot of stuff. He said, I'm not cocky, I'm confident. So when you tell me I'm the best, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I take that, and I own that part, right?
Yeah.
But I only speak humility. Yeah. So I think it's like I want to walk confident,
Yes.
but I want to really try to
Remain humble. Yes, absolutely.
right. But I think it's all in there.
It really
That's
is.
how we do it.
Yeah, it really is. And I think the fact of remaining humble allows you you to remain vulnerable to grow.
Yeah.
If I could use that word, vulnerable to grow. But when you are, someone said cocky, when you are that way, it's just and pompous and, too proud, too prideful.
Like nobody can tell you anything.
Yeah,
You're not
It becomes
listening.
it becomes a real problem.
It used to be very much like, because like I said, I'm only 24, so I am just coming out of that very cockiness. Like 21, 22 for me, I was very cocky. I knew that I could retain knowledge, so like I knew that I was smart and I didn't have to try very hard to be smart. But that God has a funny way of showing you that there's still so much more for you to learn. Because then when I got this financial services job and I talked with my manager who's older than me, and then I explained some of the things like from my perspective to him, he's opened up a lot of my experiences of like, well, you feel like this, but the person that you might have been talking to or doing something with at that time, they might have been feeling this.
Absolutely.
So to you might have been heads, but to them, they might have been tails. And it's still the same coin. You know what I mean? So that, especially now, trying to match that with my anxiety to be more open to the other person's perspective has really calmed down the anxiousness, because I learned more of what they could be going through and that they might not be attacking me per se, but it's just how it's coming out right now.
Absolutely.
And not everybody is as emotionally intelligent, as emotionally in control as one may think. Because if I see a spider in here right now, I'm jumping out of this chair. Like fear will make you do some crazy things.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. And sometimes even they may have the same thoughts but not able to articulate it the same way, sometimes you could be thinking the same thing, but then one person is able to articulate it, in a different, a manner that will be more receptive to an individual. You know what I mean? Maybe if Jeff is in the classroom, he's talking to kids, he could keep his voice like this and he can say, okay, we'll sit down and this and that. On the other hand, with me, not the expert educator, if you guys don't sit down, this is what's gonna happen. I gotta make sure there's no cameras in the room, in the classroom. Now there's cameras in the classroom, that way they can't see, and you know what I'm doing. They see me snatching my arm. Oh, you can't do that. You can't snatch my arm.
It is definitely a different world.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Devin, as the youngest person here on the panel today, when you do encounter your stress, whatever it is that triggers your stress and anxiety, what do you find are the things that are the most successful in alleviating your stress and anxiety?
Prayer, 100%. I don't mean to force religion onto anybody, but I saw what religion did. Like, I was talking to, obviously, I know Danny for a long time. So growing up in church, I've always had a lot of patience. When my grandfather died, I feel like that's when my anxiety spiked, because I was no longer going to church. Stopped praying, stopped getting in the Word. So now I don't have that anchor, that higher being that lets me know that I am the power here. So anything that stresses you out during the day, like the car accidents I may have gotten in, I might have bombed a test. During that time period, I was just lifting, going to the gym, doing normal stuff that 21-year-old people obviously would do, and maybe dealing with that stress or anxiety. But I can't say that necessarily wasn't working. So prayer has definitely been one thing that has been consistent, that has alleviated all the stress in my mind.
Yeah.
I give it up to God, whether I feel like he answers me, whether I feel like he answers me or not. Whether I feel like he answers or not, I've gotten my answer. I know I've given it to him, and I'll move forward with it. Because eventually, I will get the answer I'm looking for.
There you go. That's right. And I think it's just a matter of you use prayer, I use prayer, and many of us here in this room use prayer. But those that don't use prayer, see, would you say that it's good that they find some avenue, something?
Yes. And I think you need to be wary on which avenue, because especially when you get into high stress levels, it's very easy to turn to drugs.
True.
Especially if you're easily manipulable, if you have an addictive personality, it's very easy to turn to drugs.
That is true.
Make you feel good for an hour. Oh, I can feel good for another hour.
You're right.
So on and so forth.
That is so true.
So you need to find an avenue, but find a good one. So weightlifting for me has always been good, because it's never bad to get a good workout.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even with the workout thing, TJ, you know, you know, our guy that is in health and fitness and works with the organization True Abundant Life, he often talks about his workouts and things like that. That's a way to relieve a lot of things that you have going on. And one of these times we'll have him on here and he'll talk about how his workouts managed to help him in certain ways throughout the time as well. And Steve, what else would you say some of the other things that you may find?
I'll touch on workout real quick, but then I'll go. Right. So workout, you're going to increase endorphins. So endorphins are things that it helps you make you feel good about yourself.
Okay.
And so when you work out, what tends to happen is you tend to increase your endorphins output, right? And so now you start looking at your stuff and you start feeling good about yourself. So now your self-esteem is getting boosted, and you ain't really do no type of therapy, although you did to yourself, right? And so what the workout is just a contingent on like self-care.
Yes.
Right. So now, are you doing things that you just like to do in life? Right. Because when people, I think when you start to experience a lot of anxiety, like my question, like, how often are you walking in your path of like your passion?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
What you like to do.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then that gives you a sense of like, all right, I could do this. I'm good.
It really does.
Right. So I can't put anything together. Like, I'm a struggle. Like, I know you're like, Steve, you're just following directions. All right, miss me with that.
The patience, right?
So if you're like, yo, I need you to put this table together, I'm like, bro.
Right.
You're like, Steve, we need you to talk to them people. Oh, I'm like, oh, let's go talk to them. I can have a conversation with anybody about anything.
Right.
Like, let's go have that. So that's easy for me.
Yeah.
So as you can see, like, before I even get there, there's one where I'm like, all right, I got it. And there's another one I'm like, let me figure out how I'm supposed to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's really important to find your zone, whatever that, like, talking to people versus following directions. That might be your zone. My background is being an artist and an art educator, and nothing releases. I mean, there's the physical endorphins, but nothing releases. I don't know what kind of endorphins you get from doing whatever your creative output is, but that's another way where you can just get lost in connecting with your natural gifts in a way, and focusing on that is such a positive, I find, stress reliever for, as an artist, whether you're performing arts, visual arts, whatever it is, just finding that as a way for me to lose stress and anxiety.
And then I think it ties in what you just said, right? Like, it works for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It has to work for you.
Right.
If it don't work for you, it's not going to work.
Right.
Right. So I can't
That's
tell you
true.
like, yo, this is what I do. You should go home and try that.
That's true.
Right. Because you go home like, this stuff stinks. I don't want to do this at all.
So how does the person find? How
Well-
do they find what works for them when it comes to relieving that anxiety?
How well do you know yourself?
Exactly.
Good. Right.
Exactly.
So how well do you know yourself?
That's true.
Because if you know yourself well, then it's like, what makes you smile? What brings something happy these days? Like, it could be playing video games. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I hate video games. Cool. It could be reading a book. Some people love reading a book. It could be, I need to go for a walk. That's cool. Like, it could be, I like to paint. I like to just...
It could be just relaxing in your recliner after working 40 years of your life.
Maybe maybe we're not playing something. Maybe you watch a certain show on a
Right,
certain day
right.
that you know it's about to come on.
Right.
So you got to find that comfort zone for you.
Yeah.
And not be bothered or listen to the people who like, you should be doing more.
Yeah,
You
they
gotta
do,
this,
yeah.
You got to do that.
Well, one thing that sometimes it bothers me. Can we be real? See, this is what the show is called.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Is when people start telling you what's best for you.
No.
That doesn't work, and it's a little irritating sometimes when people tell you what's best for you.
So here's a question for you. Stay right there.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it irritating for you?
Well, and it's not necessarily for me because
Well, other people-
I'll stop an individual right away. You try to tell me.
You're not going to tell me this one. You're not going here. I stop you in your track.
So I can't really say, but what I will say is that I've seen people get irritated when a person, because I think instead of finding out a little bit more about them, I believe in building a relationship with a person. If you build some more sort of a relationship with them, then you get to know a little bit more about them and a little bit more in detail on how you could help them. because I'm an individual. I do a lot of mentoring and talking to a lot of people, and I'm an encourager. So I believe if I build a relationship with an individual, then I get to know a little bit more about them. And then more I know about them, then I can get into a little bit of their space if they will allow me. They trust you a little bit more and you learn a little bit more about them. And then you can kind of give them some tips or some suggestions. But they're not receptive when you don't know them. But you have to build a relationship with them.
But even when you know somebody, right? Like, if I'm okay with me, you can make whatever suggestion you want, right? I just don't gotta tell you, like, nah, sounds good. You should do that. That's gonna work for you, right? Like, it doesn't mean I gotta listen, adhere to, follow, any of that stuff.
Steve, I have a real problem with you drinking this.
Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna drink that. I'll tell you that. Like, I might not drink this anymore. That doesn't mean I'm gonna drink the white one. Right? I'm cool. And so, like, it really, the more you can be in tune with you, the better things will be.
That's true.
Right? So then I don't have to get anxious or upset, like, because I don't like it either, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm not a fan of people like, Steve, you know what you should do? But I because I'm not a fan of it, it doesn't mean I gotta get upset at it. I'm
Right. Well, you can be irritated and not show it.
I would say, I'm not gonna see all that stuff sounds like energy. So I'm not gonna give you all that energy. So I'm not gonna be irritated, frustrated. I'm gonna hit you with a sounds good. Maybe you should try that. Right?
No, that's shade.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me, right? Because whatever you think is a good idea, it might be for you.
That's true.
Right?
That is so true.
It's not my idea.
That's true.
Now, if it's something I like, I'm like, oh, tell me more.
That's
so,
true,
like, I'm open to it.
Yeah, open to
hear.
hear.
I have to go
You have to go with it. Right.
And then that's where your boundaries come in at, whereas though you find yourself like saying yes and doing things that you're like, I don't want to do this.
That is true. You find yourself doing things to please other people.
Yep.
And I think there comes a time in a person's life where if they've done that in the past, where you have to pull back from that, because that does nothing, I think, more but stress a person out, and the anxiety of trying to meet the expectations of what someone wants you to be, and that's a problem with a lot of people, not just young people, but of anyone through life when you're trying to live up to someone else's expectations, where they, and I seen something walking into one of the gyms where it says the best project you could work on is you. Yeah. See, and it's more than just the physical, you know what I mean? It's the overall you.
And I lean on what he said when he was talking about with God, right?
Yes.
And so, like, if that's my foundation and I can be entrenched in that, then everything else is just cool.
Yeah.
Everything else is just cool. But everybody can think all these different things for you. And it's okay. And I'll be, let's talk about it. I don't have any kids, right? Mm-hmm. Everything I always hear, like, oh, why you don't have any kids? Why you don't have any kids, right? Steve, you gotta have some kids. You gotta have some kids. And I look at it like this. Why don't nobody say, like, Steve, why do you have master's degrees? Steve, why do you got a license? Steve, why are you this, right? So I can't question God about these things I got.
Right.
But I can question God about what I don't have.
Yeah.
It kind of misses me.
Yeah. Right.
Right? It misses me.
Right.
So I don't question him about the master stuff.
Right.
I don't question him about like the time that I was intoxicated and I was asleep at a light and I ain't get locked up. Like I was in college. I don't question him about that stuff. Right. I'm just, oh, thanks God. You done saved me, God. You done saved me. But the thing I don't have, I'm supposed to now be like, hey, God, what's wrong with you? Right. You think I ain't going to be a good dad? You think I can't undeserving kid? Nah, it don't work that way with me, right? I am obedient, right? And I'm going to follow. Whatever is meant for me, I believe I will get. Whether it's with a child or not with a child, doesn't define who I am.
Yeah.
But if other people do, think it does, supposed to define me,
absolutely,
I'm okay with that. Like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't break me. I'm cool.
There you go.
Right, but I am entrenched in who I am and what I believe and stand for, my shortcomings and things where I excel at, right? I'm cool with all those things. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It just means that I'm okay with me. Mm-hmm. And so with me being okay with me, it don't even matter. They'll tell you at work, if I mess up, and I mess up, I ain't gonna told you. I gotta make a lot of split decisions, and some of these things are gonna go sideways, and looking back, I'll be like, you know what? I think that was on me. I'll go to the person, I'm like, yo, hey, Mr. H. I call it that one. That's my bad. He's like, nah, you good, Steve, you good, right? But when I do that, and you call me to the carpet, I'm like, I can see where that came in.
See, there you go.
I'm cool with that. Why? Because I don't think I'm need to be right. And this is
That's
it.
right.
Like I'm okay with voicing my opinion, but after that, if the collective team is like, "Hey, Steve, your opinion's off," then I'm like,
Yeah.
That
Well,
might be.
it's about again, there's the confidence part about you, but then also there's a different component about knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And early in life, there's one thing that our mother taught us in the house, and she constantly says, "Know who you are before you leave the house." Because if you
Yeah.
know who you are, no one can tell you who you are.
what you need to be. Or,
Yeah, and what you need to be. You can't be, all. Back to the religion there. Paul said, "All things that I might be all things to all people."
Yeah.
He didn't really mean it that way in that term. There's no way you could be all things to all people. See what I mean? But the thing is that when you know who you are, then you don't have to worry about a person putting labels on you or trying to tell you who you are. And as far as like you said about why you don't have this and questioning different things. Sometimes people don't question different things or they don't even think about it until somebody else brings it up to you. Now, you are happy with Steve, but until somebody keeps bugging you about becoming a dad, that kind of stuff, well, that's not on your... God has not said this. Steve is with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to that.
Right. And here's Jeremiah 29:11. Boy, I tell you, I'm just really with the.
So you spit on the day, you got bars. You got bars. I dig it. So I got bars.
The prophet told God told the prophet Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you." See, so
Right.
that was God speaking to the prophet Jeremiah, letting him know that, hey, look, I have a plan for your life. I know all about you and what's going on in your life, and I have this plan for your life. And so that's the thing about it is that we must always know that it's not about everybody else and what they think about us and what's going on with us. Our plan is already and destiny is already set up for us, and know who we are. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. The name of this podcast is
Let's
Let's
talk about it.
That's right. So thanks again for joining us for Let's Talk About It. This is our February series, and we look forward to March and just looking to really, really dive deep into mental health, mind, body, and spirit, and also mental wellness and ways to overcome anxiety, ways to overcome depression, and how we all deal with it on a daily basis. No one is exempt from it at all. And at some point in your life, you're going to go through, you're going to struggle. And we just want to be able to sit down and have this platform. We're so grateful to be able to talk about it. We have a huge mental wellness luncheon coming up on April the 11th. Please visit our website at trueabundantlife.org and learn more about True Abundant Life community outreach in general. But more so, we really want to see you at our luncheon at the Sheraton at 12:30 on April the 11th, 2026. Please visit our website to purchase tickets to find out more about this mental wellness luncheon, the Living Loving annual mental wellness.
With a very special guest.
Yes, with a very special guest. You got to visit our website to find out about the very special guest. So visit the website at trueabundantlife.org. Find out more about our annual mental wellness luncheon. And we look forward to seeing you there. And also we will see you right here. All of the brothers will see you here. We'll see you here in March for our March broadcast of Let's Talk About It. God bless you. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. We love you.